Quick recap. We have established that change is guaranteed to happen. We have established that change takes place in a rapidly changing context. We have established that the industrial era left us with the legacy of management practices that may not be appropriate for leading change in a rapidly changing world. Our interconnected world. We live in an interconnected world. Knowingly or unknowingly, we're all part of a worldwide movement of people, data, ideas, money, products, and services. The movement of products and services is not new. The Silk Road from the 2nd century BCE to the 18th century through a network of trade routes from the Mediterranean Sea to East Asia facilitated the movement of people, ideas, money, and products. The difference is today the scale and rate of these flows. Ordered and complex systems. Imagine you're standing in a classroom. The classroom is empty, apart from 20 desks and 20 chairs. You take a picture of the arrangement of the classroom. You then leave the classroom for 20 minutes, closing the door behind you. While you're away, no one goes into the classroom or leaves the classroom. When you return to the classroom with the picture taken 20 minutes earlier, do you think you can predict the arrangement of the classroom? Now, imagine you're standing in the same classroom a day later. This time, there are 20 students in the classroom. You took a picture of the students in the classroom. Then, you leave the classroom for 20 minutes, closing the door behind you. While you're away, no one goes into the classroom or leaves the classroom. When you return to the classroom with the picture taken 20 minutes earlier, do you think you can predict the arrangement of the classroom? The first scenario, where the classroom has only desks and chairs, is an ordered system. Behavior is linear and predictable. The second scenario, where the classroom has students, is not predictable. This second scenario, with connections between students, just like our interconnected world, is a complex system. What is a complex system? It was Aristotle that said, "The whole is more than the sum of its parts." This is a great quote about the nature of complexity. A formal, widely accepted definition of a complex system does not exist. What I will attempt to do is define a complex system within the context of an organization being an example of a complex system. The organization. Blue Nile Jewelry is an international online jewelry store, shipping to over 40 countries around the world. Blue Nile, as an organization, is a system. A system is a set of parts called elements. These elements have a set of connections between them called relations. The organization, Blue Nile Jewelry, as a system, is made up of elements known as teams. These teams include the merchandising team, branding team, human resources team, technology team, sales team, customer service team, accounts team, and legal team. The teams, in turn, are overseen by the senior leadership team. The internal connections across teams, which are elements, within Blue Nile Jewelry form the relations within the system. The marketplace. Every organization operates within a context. Blue Nile, as an organization, which we now know to be a system, operates within the global online retail marketplace. The global online retail marketplace in which Blue Nile operates is a system, with the marketplace being a higher order system to the organization as a system. Blue Nile as an organization functions as an element within the system of the global online retail marketplace. The organization, Blue Nile, as an element within a system has connections with other elements within the system called relations. Blue Nile connects with customers, suppliers, competitors, regulators, government authorities, subcontractors, affiliates, and distributors. Now, adding complexity. A complex system is a special class of system. A complex system consists of many elements with relations that are distributed without centralized control. The organization of the system is determined by the relations between the elements. This process of self-organization gives rise to emergence, the emergence of a new level of systemic behavior. So, principles of a complex system. We have emergence, self-organization, non-linearity, connectivity, and adaptability. Emergence. Emergence involves the creation of something new that is unexpected based on the description of the parts before its creation. In biology, an example is the emergence of a butterfly from an egg after the egg goes through metamorphosis. Returning to the saying by Aristotle, the whole is more than the sum of its parts. Emergence means that the whole is not just quantitatively greater than the sum of its parts, but it is qualitatively different. Emergence within the context of an effective organization occurs when team members differentiate and coordinate their activities towards a single goal. The action of team members combine positively in a way that's not just quantitatively greater than the sum of its parts, but it is qualitatively different. Self-organization. Self-organization is the spontaneous appearance of order or organizational-wide coordination that is not centrally coordinated. Self-organization is driven only from individual local interactions. Self-organization is brought about by attractor states and positive feedback loops. So think about the use of mobile phones and how it gained adoption. A small number of people start using mobile phones and they get the benefits from mobile phones. This creates an attractor state for those using mobile phones and motivates people to use mobile phones. This motivation creates a positive feedback loop, causing more people to use mobile phones and even more people to be attracted to use mobile phones. Non-linearity. The elements of a complex system are interdependent. The teams within your organization have multiple interactions, with the teams being interdependent on each other. The interdependence of different teams within an organization creates non-linearity. The same principle applies to the interdependence of different companies within an industry. The interdependence of different companies within an industry creates non-linearity. Non-linear behavior means that a complex system, like an organization or a marketplace, may respond in different ways to the same input depending on the context of the initial conditions. Non-linearity results from the interaction of interdependent elements within a complex system. This interaction generates feedback loops and resultant behavior that is extremely sensitive to initial conditions. This extreme sensitivity to initial conditions is also known as the butterfly effect. Connectivity. A complex system is a set of parts called elements and a set of connections between the parts called relations. The relations between the elements of a complex system are key to understanding the behavior of the system. Referring to the Blue Nile example, the organization as a complex system is characterized by the connection between the merchandising, branding, human resources, technology, sales, customer service, accounts, legal, and senior leadership teams. Even within the context of a top-down hierarchical company structure, Complexity arises from the connectedness of interdependent teams within the organization. Adaptability. Most complex systems are adaptive systems. Complex adaptive systems are a special class of complex systems that have the capacity for adaptation. For example, the retail industry as a complex adaptive system has been able to adapt to internet technology and expand into online retail. The adaptation of the retail industry is a result of local agents who are companies observing and responding to local observable changes in internet technology. These companies can then choose to align or differentiate their businesses from other companies within their local context on exactly how to deal with online retail. At scale, this behavior creates attractor states that define options for the default behavior of retail organizations within the industry, coupled with feedback loops where an organization chooses an action based on the actions of other organizations. Over time, the industry as a whole has adapted to internet technology with the adoption of online retail.